competitors fear your next move or already they know it? So this is the today's topic for the discussion. So I have divided this question into the two parts. One is, do your competitors fear your next move? So is there any need to create a fear among the competitor through your strategy? So that's the opening question that I want you people to start with.
I think there are two pieces of it. One is direct to consumer, right? FMCG product, which basically you sell it to the consumer direct. And second, I think we are referring to business, right? Where maybe tender or direct dealing with. Let's say if all equal, then what would matter is what you say, execution, quality. But I think what in today's world would matter is a differentiated product or strategy, right? I can give you one example. We all know that today across country electricity meters are getting converted to smart meters. Now there are various technology, but one of the factor which differentiate people is that ability to give the 97% uptime. Now how do you give if network is down? How do I retrieve the data, right? So if I have a product which enables retrieving of data during when network is down, differentiates me compared to others. Now there IP have helped me, or my differentiated, I can play with price if all equal, right? Then fear is that this organization is capable of reducing it by percent 2% and I lose the order. I think there are two factors which matters for any business. One, getting the order, and then execution. I think execution is second piece. First, I'm more worried about getting the order. If I have order, I can execute, otherwise no order, what to execute also. So I think it's very important to have a differentiated product and service which is better and outpace my competitor or
Yeah,
substitutes.
which is true, but
That's
not price cannot always be the
right.
lever.
So this is one of the factor of surprising, right? Month end, I'm able to give 5% extra. I just outpace all my competitor. I get the order, right?
Also depends on how do you view the market. You view a market as a limited set of opportunities where it's one guy wins then other guys lose, right? If this is that kind of an equation, or you look at globe as your market where there are unlimited opportunities. And I think that determines the approach you are taking. So if you think it's a zero sum game, if I win someone has to lose, then of course you want to scare your competitors or do some strategies. But I believe it's a very short term kind of a thing. I think a company which wants to grow beyond its peer uh, in today's time has to have a growth mindset, look at the globe as an area of unlimited opportunities. And if I can pick elements from what I heard from the panel, create differentiated products and focus on quality and execution. We are operating in a commodity space and we are trying to get into differentiated products. So 40% of our revenues come from differentiated products, 60% is commodity. Now we want to take this 40% to 80% and become a specialty company through and through. We are seeing the benefits in today's uncertain times, right? Wherein despite say heavy tariffs from US, there are some highly differentiated products where companies are paying us just a top up of whatever 50%, 55% tariffs are there, because those are really differentiated products. Where it's commodity, then you're out of the business. Then it is a zero sum game, right? Because I don't have any differentiation. If I win, someone else has to lose. So as long as we focus on creating an innovation DNA in the organization which is agile and can respond to competitive forces in reasonable amount of time, not every time can you find a solution in a month, 2 months, but maybe over a year, 2 year you can find a solution. And the focus is on creating this innovation engine which is agile, because a lot of the times I spend a lot of time with big corporates. Uh, there is a lot of innovation happening, but the agility is where I see the gap, and that's where you have the tendency to use the like the fear psychosis, right? The power of cheap capital, the power of scale to scare the competitors out. But for a company like a mid-sized company that I am working with, um, the way we view the opportunities is that we need to be a global player, we need to be highly competitive, we need to be extremely innovative and very agile. And I think this builds a moat which is very difficult to breach, because then, what you were saying, it becomes the culture. It is the air you breathe and no one can see it, and people wonder that why this company is able to do it. And we know, there have been, the one of the things that is prevalent in our industry is that um, just get the formulation, copy it, and you can make the product. But it's not so simple, right? It requires a lot of patience and innovative mindset by backing of the management to be able to innovate at a cost for a long period of time before you perfect and fine tune it. And no one understands it unless you are actually doing it. And then, I can imagine when people at the competitor's end would be thinking that, okay, if this company is able to do it, why are you guys not able to do it? There are so many, cultural factors at play. So I think the focus to win in today's world, which is so unprecedented, is to build this agile innovation engine in the company. And then I think it becomes a little easier to keep on winning the market. And I think the second part is to view globe as a market of unlimited opportunities rather than, a zero-sum game kind of a.
I've usually seen that too much of focus on the competition is sometimes a little detrimental.
Yeah.
From my experience, I can say that if I'm focusing on my customers or my clients, that has a higher leverage in terms of learning and innovating and staying close. In the business we are in a relationship of trust kind of a business, where it's not that we are going to get a new customer every day. It is going to be almost like a repeat purchase from the same customer over a period of time, which basically means that you are focusing on consistently adding value to your clients over a period of time. And it's not that somebody else is your competition. You are your own competition. If you are able to do whatever you are saying and probably exceed what you have said, then it's very difficult for competition to even catch up. That's one. Second thing which I have seen from my experience is that it's not that organizations win or lose, it's that the ecosystem which the organization works in wins or loses. So it's very important that you don't see yourself as a lone person or a lone, you need to see in the overall ecosystem. Ecosystem will consist of whether you have the right people in your organization, whether you have got the right partners whom you are interacting or working with, whether you have got the right kind of relationship across other stakeholders. And that ecosystem play becomes very difficult to beat if you have been able to build that out, right? We have seen many examples in the past where it's very difficult to beat an ecosystem. And the third thing I will say is that effectively in today's world, everybody knows what everybody else is doing. So it's not very difficult for me to know what you are doing or what somebody else is doing, and particularly so because of the social media, and people are all constantly talking about it. Analysts are tracking organizations, so it's not really any secret. You'll find it very difficult that somebody will do something which was not even known to the world. It's very rare. It happens, but it's very rare. So the real focus is not so much on that intelligence per se, but the real focus, at least I have seen, is how do you actually walk the talk once you know that this is what you have to do. And that execution, that focus on quality, that focus on relentless focus on that execution is something which makes the difference. That causes fear in the competition, not that your intent to cause fear in the competition causes any fear. It's the fact that you see that this is a formidable organization because that organization is performing consistently day in and day out at a much superior level than what you are. That is the.
You would have seen when we say na ki this company is entering this top, to isme they will make a huge change. Some companies have a brand that whenever they get into something, they will like everybody is scared. That is because whenever they get in, they do something great.